Hey, I'm cheating. Some kind of a light thing. I can barely see myself. Um, I'm in the middle of downtown. I can't really record out my way because I don't have the internet power for it. Um, just wanted to come on and touch base and say that I've had some pretty empowering things happen. And I know we all have those little moments that we know when things are really bad that things are going to change and we see the errors of our way in some sense. But you have little mini sessions of your life that really kick it in and show you things that you maybe were aware of, but weren't fully aware of. That hits home. So here I am talking about it. I just thanked a whole lot of people for being there and in the things that have happened in my life, in our life, my family. How fortunate I was, and just wanted to write, talk, and go through the little parts that I think matter with my journey that might maybe help you realize yours a bit. Still struggling myself to find out exactly what that is, but all the pieces are starting to fit together. I've had a mass amount of lack of sleep. I was blaming it on a boy, but not a boy, that sounds creepy, it was a man. But it really wasn't that. It was me going through everything, and of course it's like eclipse kind of feeling in the air and everything. We just had a lunar eclipse partial, so you're going to get that energy for a while, right? But what's fascinating to me is realizing, even in my negative spaces, head spaces and all, growing up and through this time, and the judgment and throwing judgment on other people, and learning my lessons, so to speak. What I've found really fascinating was, I don't mean to offend anybody if they feel this is them, but it's beautiful. If you think about it, there was this girl I grew up with, and she had a little bit of seductive side to her with men, and was very in that current. The fascinating thing about that was that she wanted to find that love, and she couldn't find it in herself, and growing through the years and kind of seeing her thoughts and talking to her briefly at times, seeing the rapid change in her, and how she went from, being a little scandalous, sorry, throat chakra, to finding her path, and going through the healthy route, and finding the things that made her happy, and family, and then growing through that, and finding a man, and still not being quite happy, and then finding the one, and the whole thing going full circle. I'm using this as an example. This is one thing, and the thing that you find fascinating about it is something that she struggled with so early on in life. Almost seems like it was a part of her journey, something, a life lesson that she needed to learn to get her to that full circle, to get the happiness, to get the love, to get the, to embrace life. And I was fortunate enough to see her the day that she was having her fourth child. And it was with this man, the love of her life. And to see that she was happy. And she said she was happy, and you could see she was happy. It said a lot. it makes you appreciate things, and it makes you really sit down and think about the issues that go on in your life and what goes on. I grew up with an alcoholic. You know, I'm thinking my life lessons, right? I grew up with an alcoholic. I was falling into alcoholism quite a lot when I was a teenager. I was very close to losing myself in it. I quit when I had my first kid. I was lucky enough at, as silly as it sounds, 18 to become pregnant and not drink and kind of get out of that. Fell into it again when I was sad. Used that as a tool to get rid of things. I saw that in me and I stopped it as soon as I realized that I was coping wrong, but yet have went into countless relationships with alcoholics, and I know that's something to do with my life lessons and finding love and, you know, doing all of that and thinking there is a lesson definitely there. And I mean, that's what keeps me going, is that no matter how hard things get and no matter what things go wrong, I need to find the reason for the lesson to get that full circle in certain, you know, in my lessons, and try and move forward. You know, you can't change people. You can only change yourself. You can love them for who they are, but you can't change them. But you can be there. You can understand when you're hard on yourself that you need to learn something. When you're hard on other people, when you're judgmental on other people, whatever they're going through, there is a lesson there. There's a lesson that needs to be learned. There's something that's going to grow your soul. There's something that's going to help you move forward, and to realize that makes you feel amazing. And when you're going through the struggle or the heartbreak, or you simply don't understand and you're at a why me moment in your life, I think it's something that we all need to focus on and realize that it is just to help us grow, and that there is a reason and there is love, and no matter if you feel it from someone or not, you are getting it from somewhere. Yourself, your guides, your loved ones, your past, the ones who are there. You feel alone, you're never alone. You're feeling low, you're feeling like you're at your absolute worst, you feel like there's something wrong, something good is coming of that. You have to look at it in a different way, a different light. If you can sit back and think about all the things that are going wrong in your life, try and step back. Sorry about that. Try and step back, mosquito. And think about what lessons that you're possibly supposed to learn from them. You know, try and move forward that way. Realize that we are here for a reason. You want to impact the world, you're going to have to start with yourself. When you're at your low times, I think the best thing to do is to struggle through it. And you can say, I've been laying in this bed for days, months, you know, well, weeks, months, years. Okay, don't dwell on it. Think about what you were stuck in and why, and start going. I've been there quite recently. I've been trying to get myself out of it. This is why I started this, because I've really felt like I was really low. And trust me, when I felt like I was at my lowest point when I started this in January, I looked back and I looked better then, and I looked healthier then, and I looked, you know, more put together. I didn't realize. And now I am falling apart, but it is for a reason. And I really hope that you can understand your reason. And if you don't, then, you know, feel free to drop me a line. I'll do what I can to help you. And so, love and light. May God be with you, whatever you believe in, Creator, Mother Earth, yourself. Believe in yourself first.